I love the craft of coffee, coffee making, the time, the ritual each day that you spend in the morning with, whether it's your friend or significant other or just by yourself, just thinking about the day prior and the days coming. I think it's just a moment to, prepare for the day ahead. I think opening up a coffee shop in general is really tough, but I think opening up a coffee shop in a house is even harder. It was the zoning that's really tough. It's zoned residential, so we had to get the zoning changed to commercial. I think that was the biggest challenge for us at Mom and M in Camp Washington, was that, and then also like the property lines and what the city wanted to see as far as how the occupancy of the building, and we needed parking for that. And so that really was very troublesome for us during that time. We've had friends say that, like, you're gonna fail, like opening in Camp Washington. Who would ever think of such a thing? And I think that just made my brother and I want to do it even more, and then you fast forward to Madisonville, this is such a different dynamic, such a different neighborhood. I mean, you're squished between, Oakley and Hyde Park and Indian Hill and Kenwood Mall, and there's so much more going on over here. And it's like, yeah, of course you have artists, but there's just more families. Definitely just people drive through here more often to go, downtown to work. And so it's just definitely a little more active for sure. We refer to a customer as a guest for several different reasons. I think it's just the terminology. I think saying a customer just kind of like puts a number on things. I think as a guest, they're a guest in our home. They're a guest within Mom and M, and I almost want to consider them friends at this point. Like we have so many regulars and so many newcomers that do become friends or regulars. I think guests is just a different definition in the hospitality world. Versus saying a customer. You get customers at Kings Island, and guests come to Mom and M. But the Mom and M name is a saying in our family. My dad and my uncle would say it all the time at family gatherings and get-togethers. We go to my aunt's house or something, for Easter or Christmas, and my uncle Frank would say, how's your Mom and M? And I'd say, Mom and M's good. Mom's good. Everybody else is good. And it really refers to like Mom and everybody else. Like, how's your Mom and M? And so we say it to this day. Like when we're at an outing or an expo and people come up and they're like, reading the name, and we're always like, how's your Mom and M? And everyone always giggles. They're like, Mom's good, The way we make coffee and the way it separates us from everybody else is that it's very intentional. I think that we take it very serious when we bring new staff on, whether it's a barista or even if you're a runner, busser, register. We really try to explain everything that goes into the coffee, from being grown to being processed to being shipped to then being here in Cincinnati. We roast it, bag it, and how it lands in that cup. And you're the last person to touch it. Like this barista is gonna be the last person to touch that coffee before it hits that table and then hits your mouth, right? And we wanna make sure that we're giving it justice, giving it grace, and making sure that we're making it the best way we possibly can. I always thought it would be cool to have wine as a retail thing for people to take home, and I also thought it would be really special to have in the cafe for people to enjoy if they don't want to have coffee, right? 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock might hit, and maybe you don't want another espresso. You're just like, it's too much. Now I just need like a nice beer, or maybe a nice soft cocktail to get me through the rest of the day. I think it's a very European thing as well. I think in America you're not really seeing it as much. I think it's slowly emerging. But people go to work, and let's say it's a 9 to 5 and they take that lunch break, they're not having a cocktail, they're not having beer, they're not having wine. But meanwhile, when you're in France, it's like almost weird when you don't. It's like, you don't want a glass of wine, something might be wrong with you. Every time we travel somewhere, there's a list of coffee shops for days, right? And we've gotten to meet those owners of all the coffee shops. And I think like we've taken that and really rounded it out and said like, this is what we want to see in our own place, right? And this is what we want to create. So when you come to Mom and Them, that's really what you're seeing. You're seeing myself, my brother, my mom, our family within the walls of these places. And I think that's what like separates us. You will never be able to recreate Mom and Them.